Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela, and I'm excited to be here with you today to share some stamping and crafting, paper crafting with you. So thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live on this Thursday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. New Zealand time, or whether you're watching the recording. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And I hope today's live gives you some ideas, some inspiration. You learn a few tips to help you with your card making and paper crafting. So today I'm going to be trying two different kind of stamping techniques. One is more your simple stamping. So if you need a card that's quick and easy to do, I'm going for that monochromatic look. That'll be what I'm doing for my first set of cards. And then we're going to step it up a bit, and we're going to try an actual technique, and it's a baby wipe technique. So it can get a little bit messy with your hands and things, but it is a cool one to try. Have you tried that before? I'd love to know if you tried the baby wipe technique. It's quite cool. Basically, you're creating your own ink pad, which is cool. So just wanting to show you those two different kind of types of stamping with a particular stamp set, which I'm really enjoying using. And that's the beautiful Butterflies stamp set. So I'll show that to you in a minute. And I'll show you some of these creations and then what we're going to do today with this set. So appreciate you being here. And let's get started. All right, so this is the beautiful Butterflies stamp set. So this is one that you will find in the mini catalogue, and there is actually a die set that goes with this, which is very cool. But today I'm going to focus on the stamps and stamping, and I'm going to show you a couple of card ideas. So we're predominantly using this particular one and a little butterfly, and of course you can use the sentiments as you wish to suit what you need for a card. I'm also going to bring in the Simply Said, because I have got quite a few birthday cards and things. Hello is quite useful, but I quite like using the thanks or thank you as well on cards, so we'll use a little bit of that one too. All right, so let's get started, and I will show you what I mean with that simple kind of cards and things. Okay, so I have used, to start with, boho blue, and what I have done is basically just stamp the butterfly twice and put a sentiment in the middle, and then I've just done white on white. So this is just standard basic white and then a card base, and then you can layer it up with other options like layers and things as well. So for example, like this time I've added the boho blue layer behind, still on the white. Angled my butterflies a little bit different, but it looks quite effective. And then if you want to step it up that much more, you can add more layers. You can add, for these one, it's just ink, stamp and paper. So it's the SIP technique, stamps, ink, paper, no embellishments, but you could quite easily add some. With this one, I've added some ribbon and I've added some embellishments to it as well. And then I've got some other color combinations, but I just wanted to kind of, show you those options, how you can keep it simple. So I'm going to make another set of cards using the same kind of thing. I'll give you some tips with using this particular stamp set, but we're going to use Petunia Pop this time. So I did put my glass mat up here, but I found the glare and also the patterns on it went a bit funny. So I thought I would, for today, I'm just going to use my paper piercing mat and do that. Okay, so I need my big stamp. So it's this one here. So you'll see that it is quite a big stamp, and I'm just going to clean around the edges a bit more. All right, so I have used an E-size block, so it needs to be quite a big block for this. I tried a couple of different ways. I tried the sentiment first, and then the butterflies. Actually found easier to do the butterflies first and then fit the sentiment in, but it's totally up to you. So basically, if you look at the ink pad, it is a bit smaller, so you can ink it up like that, but sometimes when it's bigger, I actually like to do it this way And that way you'll see that I'm not actually getting much around the edge. If you do it this way, you may rock it and you may end up with more around the edge. So that's just a little tip that I find when it's a bigger stamp like that. All right, so I want to stamp one on the bottom and I want it to be angled but slightly off. With this one, press it down. It is photopolymer, so that's why the cushioning is good. And let it really, sink into the cardstock. And then we can decide if we want to angle that way, or what have I done on other cards? Another one, yeah. So let's do that trick again. Now the only thing with using a colour like Petunia Pop or something, it will probably stain my stamp, but it does look quite stunning. So I do want to leave a little bit of a gap. And I'm just going to stamp like so. Cool. And I might just do a little sentiment like a hello on this one. And just kind of do it in here. Okay. So that's basically all is to it. I'm just going to close this for the moment so I don't get it where I don't want to. So you've got a couple of options, and I'm hoping I haven't got ink on my hands. You can put it directly onto here. Now this has got a slightly bigger border than my first one because I do want to layer it up, but you can see how that looks. I've put that on with dimensionals, so you could do that. You could leave it just the ink, stamp and paper. You could add some bling too, or you can add a layer, which is what I'm going to do. So just slightly bigger, like so. All right. So I'm going to glue that down. Let's just move the green out the way because it's a little bit off-putting. And then, you know, that could be quite a nice, quick, simple card, but it looks quite stunning. So that's just using the stamp, all these, the big stamp and then the hello sentiment from the set. I am going to crease this with my bone folder, make it nice and crisp. So this is the thick base for there. And I'll show you something else I like to do. You could leave the card just like this, and you could write your message inside. That's perfectly fine. Obviously, it's a little bit heavier on the front. So sometimes I like to add a layer on the inside, then it's a bit more balanced. Now, just remember, with this one, I actually put it on with dimensionals. This one I've done flat. So either or is fine. So let's get a piece for the inside. And I am going to just in the corner so I don't take up too much space. I'm just going to ink the whole thing up just because I'm not quite sure exactly where it's going to go. And kind of stamp down like that. So put that on the inside. I will give this a bit of a clean on my stamping scrub just because to try and prevent it from staining too much. Oops, shaking the table in the process. Okay, and then layering that up inside. Okay, so that is just your standard kind of card, A4 cut in half. So that is 21 by 14.85. And then these are just coloured cardstock, 10 by 14.3. And then the white is 9.5 by 13.8. There, that's in centimetres. All right. So that's quick and easy. And like I say, if you wish, you could add some bling to it. That wouldn't be simple stamping, but, you know, it still looks very effective. Okay, so taking it up a notch, we could add some ribbon to it. Obviously, that's not going to really work putting a ribbon across our poor butterfly. So that's why I've put it up, and then I've put a sentiment at the bottom. So let's have a go at that. And I'm going to go with a thank you card. So getting my Petunia Pop out again. I'm going to use the thanks. So I'm going to put that on at the bottom first, I guess, because if I stuff it up, then I could turn it over and do it again. That's pretty good. Clean that off. And the large butterfly for our main focal point. So you'll notice that I'm doing like monochromatic, and I did that last week. So obviously you can, you know, vary it up a bit too, but that's the look I'm sort of going for. Just to keep it simple, you can just have one stamp set matching cardstock, and away you go. Oh, that might be a bit too low. Hopefully it's okay for my ribbon. Should have possibly gone up a little bit. And then just to use this space, we're going to do our nice little butterfly up there too. All right. Now I looked through my supplies to think what color ribbon do I have that could coordinate. And I actually ended up going with white. So this is the woven white ribbon, and it's quite a wide one too, and I kind of thought white on white, but it adds a bit of, I guess, texture to it and things, and I still think it stands out. So you could obviously go with a colour that coordinates with what you're doing, and I will show you a card that I've done that on shortly, but even white on white is quite good. So, and it is, like I said, slightly thicker ribbon than, not really wide, but you know, when I'm saying thicker, I mean width-wise, it's a little bit wider than some, but it is very nice and, I don't know, soft, easy to use. Some of them can be quite stiff. What's the opposite to stiff? Yeah, it's very easy to move around and things. All right. So welcome everyone. So I have been looking at the comments. I see Sheila's here with me today. Thank you. And to anyone else who's joining. Yeah, Sheila always puts a layer on the inside too. Yeah, I think it just makes it a little bit more sturdy on the inside. So yeah, I do like to do that. All right, so we're going to put, maybe just move it down a fraction more, just so it can be just under our butterfly. Like so. So what, I mean, like I say, I've never really done white on white with ribbon before. Oops, that's not really sticking down. So this is something a bit new to me. So look, I've been card making for what, over 12, 13 years as a demonstrator, even longer than that, and I hadn't really done that before. So what I tend to do is I kind of work out how big do I want my bow, how much do I need so I can actually make a bow. It's always harder on video. Doing terribly here. I can't even find it. Let's try again. I don't like to waste it, put it that way. So anyway, I do a sort of a bow, figure out how much I need, trim it off, and then you could have it like that, and what's the word? Mini glue dotted on, but I actually like to thread it underneath, and then I tie my bow. So try and get the ends kind of even. Tie it on. Obviously it's going to pull it in a little bit, but I like that look. If you don't, you might want to just put it on with, tie them separately and put it on with a glue dot afterwards. You may need to trim the tails afterwards to get them a little bit more even. Can you see that one's longer than the other one? But not too bad. Or you could just sort of tie a knot and not actually have a bow. So either works. But to me, this adds a little bit more sort of dimension to it. But you're not using any fancy machines like stamping, cut, and emboss machines and stuff, which I love. But if you don't have those things, this keeps it nice and simple. All right. And so we're going to put that on there. We'll add some bling. And I'm going with my white base again. Usually I do coloured bases, but at the moment I'm going through a phase of lots of thick basic white and white bases. I guess if it's monochromatic and I'm stamping on white, I don't want to introduce another colour, whereas if I'd have another layer, I would have some contrast in colour, and it doesn't really work with monochromatic. All right, let's just move my stamping mist out the way. Like so. And then I'd do the same as well, and I'd stamp in the middle, or inside rather, and do another butterfly, but for the sake of time we won't, because I want to show you other cards and another technique. All right, so you could have, if you happen to have Petunia Pop coloured embellishments, you could add those. And I might actually, let's just have a look. Do I have them here? I've got some embellishments, but not that colour right here. So I've gone for more neutral colours. So I've got these iridescent pearls or iridescent faceted jewels, either or. What do you reckon? Could you colour the ribbon? If you had a blend, definitely. You could colour the ribbon. All right, what else? Oh, let me automatically scroll through my comments so I can keep up. Opposite to the opposite, rigid is limp. Yeah, that doesn't sound very positive, does it? It's a limp. What do you call it? Ribbon, but it's not too firm. Okay, I think I've left my take your pick tool in the other room, which is slightly annoying. So I'm going to use the end of my scissors to add these. And I'm just trying to work out where. What did I do on my last card? Oh, I did one there and two down there. Yep, we can go for something like that, I think. So I'm going to do, whoops, a smaller one just up here. Where's that bigger one I had there? And another little one. Where's it gone? Here. Sort of like that. All right, so there we go. So that's simple stamping, monochromatic. Yeah. Okay. So this is stamping, but then we've also added, you know, ribbon embellishments to it and layers as well. So let me show you some other color combinations I've done. We've got here Pretty in Pink, which is another in color. And then I was going to show you one where I've used ribbon that, whoops, you can't quite see it, matches. So this is Petal Pink. So in our mini catalogue, there's some Petal Pink ribbon. So that looks quite nice, having the coordinating ribbon and things as well. So you could go for the white or this. You'll notice with this one here, I haven't done a full bow. I've just done a knot. So that way it's not as big and noticeable on the card. So what do you reckon? What do you like? Do you like the bow, the knot? Do you like it in white, or do you like it kind of the matching color? So that'll depend on, you know, what you've got. If you have got it matching, then I think that looks great. Okay, so they are kind of some simple cards. What else have I got here? So yeah, so you can go from just stamping with ink and paper and cardstock, or ink, stamps, paper as it goes, or you can add some ribbon embellishments and things. And these are, like I say, a monochromatic. So now we're going to touch, what's the word? Step it up a notch. And we're going for something a bit more involved. So, baby wipe technique. So this is what I have created. So this is the baby wipe technique with just ink, stamps, and paper, or cardstock in this case. So you'll see that kind of mottled, I don't know, but sort of different colors in the butterfly and inside as well. And then this is the same card, but stepped up. Now the colors I used for this, it didn't turn out as I expected. And that's one thing with baby white technique. It was not the color. I was expecting more pink, and that is definitely not pink. So in there is Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, Flirty Flamingo, and another, I think, Berry Burst. Now I would have thought there was more Cajun craze in there and that kind of thing. And I've actually used the Cajun craze for the cardstock around it, because it didn't look yellow and it didn't look pink at all. It's more that sort of orangey, rusty kind of tone. So it does, you know, can sometimes be quite different from what you expect. So the card I'm going to make with you guys is going to be a completely different color palette. I haven't tried it and I don't know what it's going to turn out like, so we will see. So I'm going to go for Petunia Pop, Boho Blue, Fresh Freesia, and Pool Party. So basically, to do this technique, you need re-inkers or ink refills, whichever way you call them. And probably, I mean, 4 is quite a good color. And sort of a couple of colors that sort of work together. So I'm thinking blues and sort of pinky purplies. That's what I'm trying. So obviously, to do the baby wipe technique, you need some baby wipes. Okay. So basically what we're doing is using the re-inkers to make an ink pad to stamp on, and you can make it sort of that blotchy kind of look. So what I'm doing is cleaning my stamp so it's ready to go. And I've actually used, whoops, is it still a bit wet underneath? One of these to put it in, just so it, because you will get inky hands and an inky table if you're not careful, just to contain it all. So I'm going to put down 2 baby wipes. So they're moist. Oh, actually, they're not quite folded in half, are they? Let's open it up and fold it in half like so. And has anyone tried this technique before? Okay. Then we are going to dobs of ink. So let's do it this way. So you'll kind of see how big the stamp is. So we need to kind of pretty much nearly the whole height, and we can leave a bit of white either side. So I'm going to kind of start off with the lighter two colors first. And I think that's what happened with my other one. I did yellow and stuff, but then I came in with the dark one. So if you sort of push it down, it'll make bigger circles. Like you could just do a dot. That's not going to do anything. You need to kind of make a reasonably sized circle. I'm squeezing it slightly as well. All right. So that's our pool party. Let's go on with our fresh freesia. So as well as inking up your ink pads when they get a bit dry, we can create our own with this fresh freesia. Or any ink refills, basically. All right, let's then try some boho blue. So we're going to go in sort of the gaps. It doesn't even look blue. It looks like a very dark color. Obviously, I need to leave some room for my petunia pop as well. And I want to sort of cover the whole thing as best I can without using too much ink, so that it gets a good covering on our stamp. If you are using a smaller stamp, obviously you don't need to have as a bigger area covered. What else was I going to say? Something else. We'll keep going and we'll see if it comes back to me. Oh yeah, so with the stamp that you're choosing, it can't be a too thin edged one, because otherwise, you know, it can't pick up too much of the ink. It's more, we'll put it this way, it's more noticeable on a stamp that's slightly more solid. And this butterfly one is great for that. All right, so it's not going to be completely, I'll try and fill up the gaps a bit so we don't have any space, but it'll also sort of push out a bit. Okay, so a lot of the colors sort of not blend together, but the darker colors are harder to kind of see the difference, but you can definitely see the pool party. I've got no idea how this is going to look. So we're going to do the two types like we did before. We're going to do one where we just stamp. So we're going to do two butterflies like this. So you might just have to do a little bit more ink just up the top here, because we want to get our whole thing. You can't kind of keep dabbing it lots of times, because then the colors will kind of blend. So you want to sort of put it in and then push it down in that area. Can you see that that's covered? And then we're going to do one down the bottom. Might end up being very pink by the look of it. I've got no idea how this is going to look. So that's not, I did find sometimes the first ones were not quite so inky. Let's just add maybe a little bit more fresh freesia and some spots. The blue, boho blue hasn't shown out too much, has it? I'm just wondering if my thing has got a slight indent in it and whether it's not getting on the stamp quite so much. So I'm going to bring it down a bit so it can hopefully be more even. Press it quite firmly. Yeah, I'm going to turn it over and do that one again. Well, that could be, I'm going to get another piece and just try it again. Okay, let's have a go. So I can see a bit more blue on this, like that maybe. Push this down, give it a chance to sink in. Aha, that looks better. I'll give it a bit of a clean. And which way did our other one go? We went like that, didn't we? So bring it down. So maybe I just need to give it a chance for it to sink onto the stamp too. All right, and like that. Oh, I like this. What do you reckon? So you do need a mat or a glass mat or something like that. Ooh, cool. Very colourful. Not so much of the pool party, but that's okay. I'm going to come in with a thanks up here. So again, more pinks than blues, but that's cool. I like it. What do you reckon? Now, before I forget, because when I did my card, my practice ones, I forgot to do the inside. So we're going to, I don't know if that was anything. Yeah, I think so. We're just going to do down the bottom. Ugh. Not as, I don't think I pressed that quite hard enough, but that's okay. All right, now for our second card, we're going to go for the one where it's like at the top and a little one. So we are going to, I should probably clean it in between. Right, let's press down, press quite firmly. Maybe that's what I didn't do last time. And you can see there is lots of ink on there. So I'm going to do my butterfly like this. Press it down. Oh, that's very cool. My little one, except it's probably better if it flies up the right way. That's cool. And we're going. I'm going to keep with the thanks theme at the moment. I'm going to try and do a bit more blue this time. Do that down the bottom. Yeah, there you go. A little bit more blue. You can't see it probably. It's slightly off camera. So that's pretty cool. We need another one inside, but I have run out of pre-cut die pieces. So what I'm going to do is grab some basic white and cut some. Probably because the other one didn't work out. And the best thing to do is just keep going and make lots while it's still wet. Basically, you can go until it sort of runs out. So you can make quite a few cards. So this layer was 9.5, and I'm just going to cut 4 at once. 9.5. Now these bits here I save, use for a sentiment. I haven't necessarily on this card, but on other cards if I want the sentiment separate. And then 13.8. Again, there's another bit for a sentiment. All right, then we've got to decide what colour we're going to put behind as well. I've got a couple of options for that. All right, so let's just stamp a couple more while it's wet. We could just do the other side of that one. Might as well. All right, so let's do this one as a inside the card. It's starting to get a little bit weaker, but that's okay. All right, let's go for pressing this down. Can you see what I'm doing? Ugh. That looks pretty good. We're going to do another one up the top. So the boho blue actually comes out quite dark, really. Not quite so much at the top there. Our little one, where's our little one gone? Maybe I'll just clean it, try again. Let's go for a bit of that contrasting colour. Nice. And our, whoops, it lifted up. So we'll just, but you do need something underneath because it will go all the way through. Otherwise, oh, it keeps lifting up. All right, our thanks at the bottom. Nice. Okay. Do you get the idea? So I'm going to stamp a couple more while it's still wet, and then we'll put one of them together. So just keep going until it's just not going to be dark enough anymore. I think probably, yeah, that's not quite. You could like top it up if you wanted with a bit more ink in the middle, if you feel that would work. I can kind of see where the pool party is. But yeah, you get the idea. But there'll be a point where that's kind of it. So I could try and just ink the bottom part of my stamp and see if I can line it up. I don't know if that's going to work to give it a bit more ink. We'll try. Can see through this, so we'll see if that kind of works. It's now got a double shape. So we'll leave that one. We'll try just again, and then we'll probably have to leave it there. Right, push this really hard. Pretty, oh, thank you, Helen. Yeah, they are very pretty. You never know what you're going to get. Sorry, you can't quite see what I'm doing. Ugh. The important thing is pressing it down. Yeah, we're getting a bit lighter now. And probably more is being used in the middle. So, whoops, got a line there. Let's go to the edge. But you get the idea. All right, I'm going to do one more just for the inside. Just that top part. Ugh. Just down there. Okay, yeah, we're sort of running out of oomph now. But just careful holding it, wrap it up, put it in a bag or something, because it will be a bit inky and get onto stuff. All right, so let's see what we've done, and we can make them into a card. So we've got that one. That's pretty cool. And which one shall we make up? That one. Oh, we need a couple of insides as well, so those will do. All right. So this first one is easy. We just need a backdrop and then on a card base. So we've got a choice. We can have the blue. That's the boho blue. Or we can have the Petunia Pop, which is the pink. All right, and then we've got the same for this one. We can go for the blue and one for the pink. So which do you reckon? I'm wondering if we do it that way, because there's a little bit more blue on that. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, let's do one of each like that, and then we know what we're doing. Okay, so although that's got more blue there, hasn't it? What if we do it the other way around? This one we have to add the ribbon on. Okay, let's go for this. Okay. And then we would put that on a thick, basic white card base. All right. And then I've just got a couple more cards to show you at the end. So it's basically the same sort of layout, but I'm just, instead of one monochromatic color, I'm using that baby white technique and lots of colors. All right, so this one we need to remember our ribbon first. Do you like the idea of a knot, or do you like an actual bow? All right, Helen likes the blue. Yeah, I keep switching them around, so I'm not sure which one I put on what. But we're doing one Petunia Pop, one blue. So there you go, a bit of both. Right, so put that about there. Now I want to let you know something very special about this beautiful butterfly stamp set. So it is available in the catalogue for purchase, and I'm pretty sure it's like $51. But if you, for Sale-A-Bration, there are different stamps and items, papers, all sorts of things that are Sale-A-Bration that you can get when you spend $125. And this month, they introduced some more items that you can redeem with your $125. And it includes current products. And one of those things that you can get for free is this stamp set. So that is very cool. So you can spend $125 on whatever you like. Cardstock, ink, other things. The dies that go with that would be really cool. And then you can get that stamp set for free. So that is an amazing deal, but while stocks last. So if you would like it, then I wouldn't delay. I would get your order in soon and choose that as your free item. But that's pretty good. Right, just working out how big to do my bow. Make it a bit longer. Tuck it under, tie it up. So what do you like more? Do you like the blues and pinks, or do you like that kind of rustic look? Like I say, I was going more for pinks and it didn't happen. The pink didn't really show up. So I personally, because if you know me, I like blues. So I like this softer, oh, this is not happening here. I like the softer blues and pinks more than the orangey colors. But for certain occasions or people, the other might suit. Okay. There we are. I need to tidy up that edge, and we need to add some sparkle. We could add the pearls this time to be a little bit different. So I'll do kind of the way I did it before. There we go. All right. So that is the baby wipe technique. And these are the cards that we made. So keeping it very simple and keeping it just to stamping would create something like this. Down a bit, sorry. Okay, that's just your stamps and things. If you want to put it, what's the word? Take it up a notch, then you can do this. Whoops, we're a bit wonky. And we can do ribbon and embellishments as well. So So tell me, do you like the blues and pinks, or do you like that sort of orangey, rusticy look? Which do you like? There you go. These are my favorites, but that's just me. Cool. All right. So like I said, there is a die set that goes with this, and I've left it in the other room, but I'll show you a couple of cards with the dies, and maybe, I'm not sure what I'm doing next week, maybe I'll show you the dies. So this is the die. So this is quite cool. I've cut it out of the paper and done that. So there isn't a whole solid butterfly you could put behind as well. Oh, you can see on this one. Now this card here was made of part of a swap. It was made by Paula. So thank you, Paula. Awesome card. So she's gone for more the oranges and the pumpkin pie in this, which looks nice. She's stamped behind and then got a black die cut. So it looks quite striking against the black. And then you may have noticed that I've used the embossing folder. So there is an embossing folder that goes with this, and it is a hybrid embossing folder. So it can die cut as well. So maybe that's for another time. Cool. So the focus today was the stamp set. So just remember, Sale-A-Bration. Let me have a look here. So this was out from January. Haven't got long, couple of weeks. So these are the original items that you could get, stamp sets and dies and papers and things. And also now these are the additions. I know it's a little bit small, but there are 3 stamp sets. There's a couple of punches which are available. They're current products and things. There's 2 kits that you could get. There's 2 die sets, alphabet and tools, some ribbon, or the butterfly little embellishments. And here is that butterfly stamp set. You might need to do it a bit closely so you can see what's available. If you go online, you can see what you can get. So you just need to spend $125 before shipping, and you can choose one of those, or you can choose one of these. Now just remember that in Sale-A-Bration there's also a signing up offer. Signing up anytime is awesome. All the benefits that you get are amazing. You get things at a discount, you get to see things early, you get to go to Stamping Up events. We've got a team, so we do things online together, like swaps and things. So it is lots of fun, and that connection and things. I joined because I wanted a discount and do a class because I enjoy paper crafting. I never realized the friendships and the people and things and the connections I would get. So that's, one of the reasons I continue. So anyway, so the kit is usually $189 and you get $285 worth of product. You choose it. Sign up before the end of February and you get as a bonus this stamp set and 2 packets of Stamping Right markers. You choose which colors. If you've already got markers or don't want those, you can choose $57 worth of product on top instead, but this is worth more. So yeah, it says $195 value, so that's way better than this, but you still get a great starter pack. So I'd love you to join my team. I've got demonstrators around New Zealand. Some are hobbyists, just do it for themselves. Some do classes. It's totally up to you. All right, so cool. Thank you. So I had lots of fun using the beautiful butterflies set. Haven't even used all the stamps, but there are lots there. And of course, there are the dies as well. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed, the simple cards, and then the slightly more stepped up ones, and then our technique one as well. So lots of fun. Any questions, do sing out to me. I'm just quickly going to change back over here. All right, wonderful. So thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love you to subscribe to my channel so you can be kept up to date with other videos and lives and things. Do reach out to me if you need a catalogue or have any questions. And if you're not on my mailing list, I'd encourage you to be on my mailing list. Lots of tips and inspiration and exclusive tutorials and things too. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you joining me each week, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.